Tony Hawkins has got a podcast. I hope he's better at this than he is washing the kit, because he was fucking useless.
Well, there you go. You've just missed some Bullseye and Sock chat, haven't they, Tony?
Socks and Bullseye.
Bullseye, yeah. What was his name? Ted Rogers? Was that the man?
No, that was 3-2-1, wasn't it? Ted Rogers.
Was it?
No, it's oh lordy, his name's gone. Fred, Dave, Bill, Gary.
Fred Dinage. Not him, is it?
Do you know what? That name actually popped into my head. I'm going to have to Google it, aren't I? How can I not remember his name?
Bullseye, British television show. Don't see. Oh, I'd have to go. Jim Bowen. Jim Bowen.
Jim Bowen.
Yeah.
Jim Bowen. Do you know who he always reminded me of? Do you remember, was it Total Recall?
What, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
The Arnie version. Yeah. No, The Running Man. Was it The Running Man? The Running
Man, yes.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one. The game show host on that.
Right.
Terribly nasty person. I just imagine Jim Bowen was a right wanker when he wasn't on the screen.
No, I can't see that, Tony.
If you pointed him in the right direction as well, he could burn things through those glasses.
What do you think?
Those lenses.
One of those speedboats that they could have won, Tony, if they tried harder.
Well, yeah. I mean, lots of people around the country. There was a program about Bullseye, and they basically, depending on how well the contestants did, would determine what prize they would have won. And the producers of the show had a budget for prizes, and they got a good deal on speedboats.
I can tell.
So I think they bought them 3 at a time or something. So there was if they lost, they'd run the VT for the holiday in the Bahamas or whatever for 2 weeks, all expenses paid. But if they won, they'd wheel out the speedboat because they got a special deal on these. I mean, seriously, I know it's a running joke and has been for years, isn't it, about Bullseye contestants winning speedboats, and they live in Sutton Coldfield or somewhere like that.
Cleethorpes, I bet you. Most of them are from Cleethorpes.
But how many people who go on Bullseye have even seen a speedboat, let alone own one?
I'll be honest with you, I consider myself quite a rounded person. I've never been on a speedboat.
I've never been on a speedboat. I've never been on Bullseye, but
I'm a dry land kind of fella. I like this.
So yeah, readers, we were discussing wearing white socks with shoes, which I haven't done since
you were on Bullseye.
Probably the late 80s, early 90s, because it is a crime against fashion. There are many crimes against fashion, including most recently wearing no socks with shoes and ankle swingers, skin tight ankle swingers. Well, I suppose they're skin tight; they can't be ankle swingers, but
ankle hoppers,
you get the idea. So, yeah, if you're one of those people that wears slip-on shoes with no socks and trousers that don't go below your ankles,
turn this podcast off and turn this podcast off now and stop listening. You're banned from listening.
You're a terrible human being.
You are.
For doing that.
You've embarrassed yourself and the general public.
You've let everyone down.
Really?
Fashion is stupid. We all know that. But you follow fashions because that's fashion for you. But just think about what you're doing. Slip-on shoes, no socks, and trousers that are just.
Yeah, it's done you, that, Tony. I can see you're not happy.
It really winds me up, mate. Really winds me up. And usually it's blokes whose top half is... Have you watched the Umbrella Academy?
No, I've not, no.
No, so one of the characters in it, his top half, his torso, is absolutely massive. Like, it's like just pure muscle, but... So blokes like that with a really big top half, but they miss leg day every week when they go to the gym. And they got these tiny skinny little legs. And it just looks ridiculous. And a fake tan. And I was in the hotel in the Pitside bar one night after a game, and there was two couples, for some reason, from Newcastle. And they were just the epitome, the definition of Geordies trying to dress up and look posh. Because there's, I've got nothing against Geordies at all.
You see that?
I've got friends who are Geordies, but certain parts of the country, and one of them being Newcastle, when they try and dress up, they just get it completely wrong. And these two blokes and their women it was just hilarious. It was like they clearly applied their own fake tan, either that or a blind man had. Anyway, we should probably move on, because I could go on all night about that, you see.
Yeah,
so,
I'd rather go on all right than that than actually what happened on Saturday, when it seemed to be a bit shit, to be quite honest.
Well, as we didn't go on Saturday and no one's sent us any match reports or comments on it, then it's going to be a very short podcast with very little football talk.
I'd be averse to that, because as we were saying, I am feeling a bit rough tonight, so as soon as we can get done, the sooner I'll feel.
We may as well have skipped this week, if we're honest. But, we got one email.
Oh, did read it out to
We've got one email. There's no football chat.
Oh, right. Better still.
So there is that. We've got a message from Albie.
Oh, good.
Which basically says
fill half an hour, mate.
The podcast this week's going to be shit. And you know what? We've only just started it, but we know it's going to be shit. So there you go, readers. The reason I mention Albie's message is because he's predicted the starting 11 for Saturday.
Predictions? Ooh. Lineups and that. Well, go on. I'm interested. Franco.
Well, it's interesting. So I'll read his message first, and then I'll get to his starting 11, because it's occurred to me that I was going to be hypercritical of it, and then realise that it is actually the FA Cup, and a game we should win despite being as bad as we are at the moment, with improvements. It has to be said, of course. So Albie says, I have a feeling the podcast might be short, given nobody went to Cheltenham and there were no goals. So I'll ask you a question. Do you value the FA Cup still?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I think it's a general question. Yeah,
I like the FA Cup. Me.
He said lost a bit of its magic amongst the younger fans who see it as a bit tin pot. But I'm excited for Saturday and love seeing how smaller teams fare against us. And fair play to him. I say fair play. There's a pun. He's actually spelt fair correctly in this context. And it's always a good journey to the third round. Also, do you think we should go strong? I do. Need to continue any momentum, and there's no room for error going back to fucking around with systems and lineups. Last thing we need is a slow start and fans to get on the players back. So, I'll give... do you value... I've always valued the FA Cup. I love the FA Cup.
Me. I always enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in it, it's great. It's a bit like the Pizza Cup. If you get to the quarters and the semis, it gets very exciting. I will say that it has lost some of that as you get to the later stages. I would say probably for the best part of 40 something years, I never missed an FA Cup final. But last year, I did.
Who was in it last year? I can't remember.
It might not be. I think it was Leicester Chelsea. Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I have no idea. The worst thing they did, from my point of view, was change the kick-off time from 3 o'clock to 5:30. I think that was a big mistake.
Well, that's that as well. I mean, there's certain things that you don't mess about with, and FA Cup kick-off is... Well, I used to get up early and watch all the... You remember they had BBC and ITV both showed it, and their rival sort of on the coach with the players and all that dizzle, and it was a much more... It was a major event. It was a national event, wasn't it?
There wasn't as much football on the telly, was there, back in the olden days? So it was a big thing to see it, wasn't it, I guess? It was just football. You could watch
it was one of the few live games you got to see.
You could watch it every night if you made an effort. Every night you could find a game, couldn't you, to watch, I guess, these days? So.
Oh, yeah, in any number of different countries and leagues. So
I don't think it's going to be a particularly big turnout on Saturday, to be quite honest with you. I mean, was it last year? Did we play Stevenage last year? Was that last year or 2 years ago? I can't remember now.
It's probably the last 10 years. We always end up with Stevenage.
I remember
I can't actually remember who we played in the first round last season. I think it was
Stevenage, to be quite honest. I'm sure it was.
I'm not even going to bother looking it up.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I remember we went, wasn't it? And it was like a real shit day and there was hardly anyone there. So I'm thinking it's going to be the same this week.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I think it's restricted to certain areas in the east. So we'll probably, I mean, it would be more than a pizza cup, I suppose. But even so,
not much more, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might be put off by the fact that they've got to sit in the East Stand. I don't know, but
I ain't got a ticket yet. I've bought a car. I'm going to pick it up on Saturday, so what I was going to do is hopefully if I get back in time with the tickets on sale on the day.
Oh yeah, they'll be on sale on there till half time, yeah.
Pick up the car, drive up there and try my new car out with driving about with my ticket in it. Hopefully. Sounds a bit shit, that
sounds like an exciting day to me.
Yeah, it does sound like a good day, that.
So, do you want to hear Albie's predicted starting 11 then?
Go on then.
So, you were right, Franco Ravioli in goal. Then he's got what looks to be a back five. I'm pretty sure it is actually. So I'm guessing from the way that he's set it out, he's going O'Hora on the right of a three, Tucker in the middle, and Jules on the left of that three. Wing backs, Lawrence on the right, Harvey on the left. McEachran and Robson, presumably two in the middle. Barry and Holland as the wider men, and then Grigg up front as the lone striker. What do we think of that then?
I weren't really listening, to be fair to me. Quite honest with you, I missed the whole thing there. I was looking at the running man on IMDb, mate, to be quite honest.
So, like, for the benefit of just John...
Just me. Quickly, run through it quickly.
For the benefit of just John, I'll repeat that.
I got as far as more in the horror and then I lost interest.
Franco Ravioli in goal.
Right.
A back five with three centres of O'Hora on the right, Tucker in the middle, Jules on the left, Lawrence on the right, wing back, Harvey on the left wing back, McEachran and Robson in the middle, Barry and Holland as the wide men, and Grigg is the number 9.
Yeah, that's as good as you could expect, isn't it? A bit of mixture in it, I guess.
Have we got a number 10 this season? I don't think we have we, really?
Not playing that.
We don't really play with a number 10, do we?
Not really. Maybe we could get one, see if we can be any better.
Do you think we could maybe get one in January, go shopping in?
See what we can get.
Do a bit of window shopping, see what you can find.
Let's find one.
Maybe find one.
I think it would be a mistake to play Franco, to be quite honest. I'd rather play, Cumming, to be quite honest with you.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it?
You got that conundrum there, though, Tony, haven't you?
Stick with that team that's done all right in the last
thing.
couple of games, just for some continuity, or do you do a pizza cup job and give a few of the others a run out? Maybe I don't know. It's an interesting question because you'd like to think that we would win the game, regardless of the team that we put out. But it's the FA Cup, and you never know, and lads will be up for it, and I think half of Taunton's coming anyway. The
problem you got is with that is like sort of continuity. What happens if you get through and you draw someone fairly big? Do you put a not a substandard team, but not your first team? You think, yeah, I would always play a strongest team if it was me. I know you have to. There are guys you have to. I don't know, guys want to play, won't you, and think, oh, I'll get a chance in the cup games, but I would always play my strongest team. Especially, we got Derby coming up, haven't we? You're thinking you need some continuity here, don't you, to keep going, hopefully.
Well, that's it. We want that continuity. So, I mean, I couldn't even begin to guess, really, what he might do in that respect.
I can't begin to guess what he'll do anyway, like normally, so God knows what he'll do now.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's getting fairly close to a settled starting 11 or preferred starting 11, and I think that does now contain Louis Barry, which is good because he's got that about him. The back five, you got to choose. You got to take 2 from 3 from Jules, Harvey, and Lewington, haven't you? When it comes to, well, effectively, you've got to take 2 from one from two for Jules or Lewington, because Harvey's got to be your left wing back, hasn't he? I think. Lawrence, seems to be a lot of love for Lawrence. I mean, at the beginning of the season, we did nothing but moan about him, didn't we?
I think he's come better now. He ain't chosen Oredoki, has he? I'm still not really listening.
Okie dokie, no. Which is not a great surprise, and there's a few that would not be overly disappointed if he went back to his parent club. Me being one of them.
I think he'll go back in January. I don't know if it's a season-long loan, but there must be. You can't just keep him, can you? Hopefully. No offence to him. I'm hoping they don't keep him.
No, I don't like to criticise individual players, as you know, but I have done a lot of that this season, and he's been probably my biggest target. I mean, let's not talk about him anyway. Let's assume he's going anyway, so we'll stick. We haven't even spoken about the Cheltenham game. Where did you listen to it?
I listened to it, but I was kind of doing half a dozen other things, to be quite honest. So it was on, and then
weirdly, I was on Dan McCallum's ship.
Oh, how did that go?
Tossing on the poop deck.
And on the ship, Tony.
And he made a chicken curry, which was nice.
I had chicken curry tonight.
We had the football on the radio and the darts on the telly, so that was a bit confusing because in my head the football commentary turned into the darts commentary.
Well, that would have been great, wouldn't it? Not.
Yeah, which was very strange to say the least. So that's where I listened to the game, and it sounded so boring.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I genuinely can't pull anything from what I heard.
I can't remember listening
to discuss.
I don't even know what I was
really
doing
can't.
now, you know.
I'm going to go and look at the stats because why not?
I can't remember what I was doing at all. I know I went up to feed my horses, so I was listening to it on the way up. I must have missed a bit of it, and then when we came out, Three Counties was on, so that's all I can remember really.
Well, we're not surprised that we didn't get a match report because we rarely do, but. And because we didn't lose as well. But we had 58% possession. They had 14 shots. We had 15. They had 3 shots on target. We had 8. 6 corners to their 3. 7 fouls for them. 8 for us. So it really wasn't... I mean, there's actually 18 people commented on it.
What have they said?
Oh, actually, no. It's just... It looks like it's AFC fans.
No, of course it is.
Why would they? I don't even know why they would comment on our games. There's a lot of removed comments. That's interesting.
That's always good to see.
Yeah. I've also noticed a lot of fans asking, and I've been asked by a few as well, what has happened to MK Dons this season? Where do you start with that question when people ask you, eh?
Well, you think we're playing Morecambe, aren't we, on Tuesday,
yeah.
And we went there and battered them, and now I'm thinking, I don't know what to say, really.
Well, they got a very creditable point, I think, didn't they?
Did they not get a point against Ipswich or something?
Was it Ipswich,
right?
I think,
sure
yeah.
It was. Positive it was. I could be wrong, but I know it was either Ipswich or Derby. I'm sure it was one of the two.
Yeah, I've got a very strong feeling that you're right, and it was indeed Ipswich. I'll have a quick look, shall I? So, Morecambe. Where's Morecambe? Oh no, 1-1 with Wickham. But I'm fairly sure maybe it was Tuesday night then.
I'm sure they are.
Or the Tuesday before.
Probably am. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that game because, like you say, it's like, you know, it's not a league game, is it? You know, we think.
Yeah. Oh no, Morecambe. Yeah. Morecambe drew with Derby on.
There you go. I was right.
Tuesday night. So. I mean, they're 2 decent results, really.
They are, yeah.
For them. So they're obviously, I wouldn't say they're on the up because they didn't actually win any of those games. But having said that, they didn't lose. So, I mean, that really is the one that you want to win, isn't it? Because that would take us in with the big boys.
You get more of a chance of getting a bigger team than that.
Yeah, narrowing the choices down to some very, very big teams, obviously. Is it the 3rd round we're in? Is this the 3rd round?
What, this thing? I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where all the
think.
Champions League teams come in, isn't it?
Oh, I can't remember. mate. Too complicated, all this football business for me at the minute.
Yeah, it must be because Everton are in, yes, the third round. So if we win this one, we're through to the fourth round and get all the really, really big teams.
Get Man City, that's who we're going to get away.
No, you know who we'll get? Stevenage will beat
Stevenage,
Charlton and we'll play Stevenage.
Yep, that'll be it, mate.
Absolutely
Stevenage.
guaranteed. Or Leicester, Newport will pull off a shock against Leicester and we'll be away to Newport County on a Tuesday night.
Fancy that. Rain's there.
Oh, no, actually, no, sorry, I've worked it out already.
Oh,
I've got it. It's going to be Burnley.
Oh, that'd be shit, won't it? Anyone except Man City's going to be a bit shit for me. I've set my heart on Man City, Tony.
If it's City away, I would be very, very tempted to book a couple of days off.
Oh,
I've got a ticket off anyway, so...
If it's any big club away, like any of the big inverted commas 6, I would go to that, definitely. Apart from Spurs, I ain't going there. I think it's new ground, haven't
I'll go to Spurs City. I wouldn't bother going to Old Trafford. Well, actually, I probably would go to Old Trafford just for the day out because not being there as a Dons fan. Would I go to Anfield? I don't know.
I would. That's a bit me then. Who else would I not go to?
Do you know, I'd actually prefer to go to Everton if they
Who's
get
in the big
beat
6 at
Bournemouth.
the minute? The so-called big 6. City. Newcastle, that'd be one we could go to.
Newcastle.
I wouldn't go there.
Newcastle,
I'm not
even
going
on a
there.
Tuesday night.
I'm definitely not going to Newcastle on any night.
Yeah, I'll be up for that. I'll
No.
be bang up for that.
Not
Definitely.
Newcastle, mate. You might see that couple that you were talking about earlier on.
I tell you what, they all look the same to me, mate. It could be, and honestly, these two couples in the pitchside bar. It was like two sets of twins. It really was. You could not tell them apart. You know the sort of. Oh no, let's not get back onto that.
Let's not get back onto that.
I get riled up and I get angry.
Yeah, they've got to say how. I don't know how we'll do against them. You know, they seem to be picking up. We're getting better than we were, but when you think back in August, we went in and battered them. So you don't know, do you? Things have changed, haven't they, since then? It's us that are the shit team now, and they seem to be a bit better than us. But
yeah, we are improving. You would still hope that.
Still would hope I'd beat them, yeah.
Yeah, and I would imagine they'll be putting out a strong team because obviously they'll be looking forward to hopefully a fourth round draw against one of the big boys. But yeah, it would be disappointing to get through to the fourth round, then draw Stevenage away and then lose, or Newport away and lose, or
that time.
Even at home, really, because you're not going to get a decent crowd.
Once we beat United, didn't we? And who did we get after that? It was Sheffield United.
We lost to.
I'm sure it was Sheffield United. I'm sure it was.
Sheffield United. I want to say Barnsley for some reason.
I'm sure it was Sheffield United when they were still a League One team. I'm sure it was. Positive it was. Almost 100%.
What was that? 2014, wasn't it?
Really? God, time flies, doesn't it?
2014. Here we are.
I'm positive it was.
So I think, if I remember rightly, we played Manchester United. Can you remember the score?
I think something tells me it was. We won. I'm sure it was 4-0. I'm sure it was. I know that sounds improbable, but I could be wrong.
It does ring a bell. All right, we'll go with your.
Go with my recollections.
Possibly incorrect. 4-0. So, did you? I don't remember that.
What was that?
So we beat Manchester United 4-0.
We did, didn't you?
That's confirmed by Wikipedia, which I think we can trust.
That's always right.
We will on this occasion. We'll go with that. We actually played Bradford and beat them in the third round.
All right.
And then, as you say, in the fourth round, we lost. We lost to home to Sheffield United. Four home ties in a row.
Oh,
yeah, lost at home to Sheffield United 2-1.
I'm disappointed in us, to be quite honest.
Can you remember who we beat in the first round?
Was it Wimbledon?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I give up already.
It was AFC.
Oh, right. Not your actual Wimbledon, then.
No, of course not. AFC. We beat them. If I remember rightly, we were 3-0 up after a very short period of time. I remember that game specifically because the ball went out for a throw and I was sat on the bench and I caught the ball.
Oh, right.
And their player came over to the touchline to take the throw, and he stopped on the touchline and looked at me, and I just held the ball out in my hand and made him come and get it. What
Small
a nasty
victories,
piece
Tony.
of work I am, eh?
Small victories, mate. Little things it is.
Small victories, I was happy. I think that was also the day where I propped open the changing room door with a Stanley toolbox with Wimbledon FC sticker on it.
Right.
Which was also nice. I wasn't allowed to bring out the Welcome to Wimbledon FC mat that I had in my storeroom. That was vetoed by the press officer.
That's a shame.
At the time. It was, because that was an excellent touch for them to open the door and walk in and tread on that. So I got my little victories. Yeah, that was very petty of me, but fuck it. They were absolute toss bags, and I've never met such a rude bunch of people. I can understand their feelings, but I was tried to be nice to them. They just wouldn't talk to me. I offered help in getting all their gear down the stairs. They didn't want any help at all.
I wouldn't help them. I would have scorned them, Tony. I would have turned my nose up and scorned them.
Well, I think also Hildy nearly had a fight.
Really?
In the warm up, yeah, with their goalkeeping coach.
He's a big
Well,
fan.
Hildy offered his hand, as in, to shake hands, and the bloke completely blanked him. And Hildy's got a switch, and once he goes,
I can imagine. He's a big fella.
Stay out of the way is all I can tell you.
I haven't seen him for ages. I don't know what he's up to, do you?
I believe he's up in the northern part of the country.
Oh, right. Oh.
Yeah, I can't really say much more than that.
That's good enough for me, Tony. The north is good enough for me.
So, shall I? We've got this email here. Rag, who is emailing us once a week by the look of it. So, thank you, Rag. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Hope it's not football related. Does it? Better not be anything to do with football.
No, of course it's not. So he opens with, "Just how amazing are?" Can you guess?
Maltesers.
Oh, it's close. It's close.
Rebels.
But it's not right.
Oh.
Just how amazing are eggs?
Eggs, right? Okay.
Eggs.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
He says you can do so much with them.
They're versatile. Tony, I'll give you that.
They are versatile. Scrambled, poached, fried,
boiled. Struggling now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell our culinary skills don't stretch very far.
Benedicted.
So, just how amazing are eggs? You can do so much with them. Omelettes. Oh, we forgot omelettes.
Omelettes. Oh, God, yeah, that's a staple in our house, omelettes.
Omelette, scrambled, eggy soldiers, or did someone go for the elegance of eggs Benedict?
I've said that. He's done me there.
A rare treat.
I've never had that.
Seriously, eggs are bloody amazing. They're the ultimate utility player and can play any position. What MK Dons player ever is as versatile as an egg? Current MK Dons player?
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? You want someone that moves about a lot, don't you? I'd go.
Well, I would have said.
I'd go Warren the Horror, to be quite honest.
What? He can play any position?
Well, not any position, but he moves about a bit, doesn't he?
Well, that was the question. The ultimate utility player and can play any position. What MK Dons player ever is as versatile as an egg?
I'm stuck in with Warren the Horror because he's the only one I can think of at the minute.
No, I can't think of one that
Go
you
for
would
Warren
say.
the Horror, Tony.
if you need a stand-in centre back, Okie Kokie.
He's dead to me, Tony. That no, we're not talking about.
Yeah. And he says, in your days as Kitman T, he calls me T because obviously we're now best mates. In your days as Kitman T, who was a fan of eggs at team breakfast? What yolk did folk go for? It's a great question, Rag, and I can tell you now that there was always a queue for the poached eggs because the lovely young lady who did the poached eggs got them absolutely perfect every time. So there was always a queue for her poached eggs, and she always had, and she would cook it for you right there and then.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of you to exactly the right consistency.
Eggs,
So, yeah, it was always poached eggs. I didn't often breakfast with the players, and they did tend, not necessarily avoid eggs, but they but I didn't eat them.
Not
Really
fans
beans,
of them, Tony. Not fans of your eggs,
beans.
your footballers.
Yeah. So yeah, it was always poached. That was a big favourite, and there was scrambled on offer. There was always scrambled on offer, but
That fills you up, scrambled eggs, doesn't it?
oh, I love scrambled eggs. I bought a frying pan especially just for scrambled eggs, mate.
We had a couple of chickens, and one of them snuffed it about a month ago, and since that one's going, the other one stopped laying, so I ain't got any eggs now. We used to have eggs every day, 2 eggs a day we used to get, now I've got none. Basically,
What do you think is in protest, or
I don't know
have they
what
got
she's doing.
broken hearted?
I think she's just, I don't know if there needs to be 2 of them to egg one another on. I didn't mean to see that there, that's a bit of a pun there.
That could actually be the case, yeah.
She's not laying since the one died, so now I've got just IE and other
Am I right in thinking that it's what you feed them that produces
Yeah,
the
you've
eggs?
got to give them the grit. You give them mixed corn, you give them this stuff called layers pellets, which helps them, and you got to put a bit of like basically gravel in there to make the shells harder. So you mix gravel in with their food. I'm not joking.
Well, there you go. Every day's a learning
We give
day.
them oyster shells. That's what we give them.
Every day's a learning
We
day.
give
I
them-
love it.
We give them ground up oyster shells in their food. So, there you
So,
go.
I've got artificial grass in my garden.
Have you
Would
really?
that be good for chickens, or
No,
does
they're
it not
rubbish
really
for chickens. That they need real grass. They love eating grass. That's what they love eating. They'll eat anything.
matter? Chickens eat grass
Yeah.
and grit.
They'll eat
No.
anything, mate. They're omnivores. They will quite. You could put anything in that little chicken coop. You come back the next day and they'll eat it. They'll eat.
Is that because they're stupid, though? Because they're not exactly bright, are they, chickens?
They're not. You can't train them, Tony. I'll be honest. You can't train them. They don't
They're
give
like
you a
the,
paw
they're
like
like
a
the,
dog.
they're like the guinea pigs of the bird world, aren't they? They're just shit.
They're all right.
they-
They're good at laying eggs. Well, not all of them. The one we've
Yeah,
got
but if they
obviously
didn't, if they didn't lay eggs, what use would chicken? Oh, well, actually, I suppose they're quite tasty as well, aren't they?
Well, they are. You can't. I couldn't eat ours.
All right, I'm giving it back to the. Have you ever eaten chicken feet? What are chicken feet called?
Talons, Tony.
Talons? Are they talons?
That's from-
Can you eat those? I
That's
don't know.
from what's that great film, Napoleon Dynamite? You never seen that film?
No.
That's where that's from. Talons.
Talons. I've just noticed my webcam isn't in the centre of my laptop.
They're all over the place. You got one of those lazy boy chairs, slinging back and forward all the time. You are.
Yeah, I plugged it in today as well.
Oh, is it electric?
It's got the old vibrate and
Well.
heated
God blimey.
all that shizzle. Yeah.
Oh, good for you. I think they're just called chicken feet, Tony. I've never eaten a chicken's foot. I wouldn't. That would not entice me. That, to be honest.
I can't imagine there's much. I thought they're quite chewy.
Yeah, there's not a lot of meat on that. To be honest, don't look like it. No.
I'm going to Google that. Can you eat chicken
Of
feet?
course you can.
People, is it a thing though? Chicken. Can you eat the meat of chicken feet?
Well,
You can eat everything on the foot except bones and nails. Nails. Ugh. So be sure to clean the feet before you start cooking. Eat the toes by biting each joint and sucking the meat off the bone.
nah.
Aim to bite the chicken foot at the top of the toe and suck the meat, skin, and sauce off the bone into your mouth.
Nah.
Well, I'm probably not going to be
I'm not
doing
going
that.
to do that, Tony. I'll be blunt with you. I mean, I've been hungry.
Nah.
I'm not
Closing
hungry at
that.
the minute, but
Closing
if I
that.
was
That
hungry, I
was
would.
not a good idea.
I've never thought
I've
to
just
myself.
never seen them on sale, so
Yeah, do you know what would be good? I've never thought to myself a bag of chicken's feet. That would I could really go that, but no, I've never thought of that, to be quite honest.
yeah.
No. Shall we wind this pile of crap up? Because this one.
Yeah, well, we should do our predictions.
Predictions, right? Saturday, I'm going to go 6-0.
6-0. You think we're just
Yeah, I
gonna
think we'll batter them. We'll
do
get nothing.
what we should do?
Yeah, we should do.
All right, I'm gonna go 3-0 because I don't think we'll embarrass them. We'll just do what we need to do. I want to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah. And Tuesday.
But I also want one of their players to score because it's just going to be nice for them, isn't it? It's possibly going to be the biggest game most of them
All right, I'll give them 6-1 then.
probably
Bollocks
panic
to
there.
it. You've talked me into it.
All right, 6-1. All right then. And then Morecambe on Tuesday night.
Now that's either going to go 1-2 2-1 to us, or 2-2 and goes to penalties. I'm going 2-2 penalties.
2-2 and penalties. You don't think we'll do them 4-0 again?
And then they'll have to drive all the way back up to Morecambe after penalties. Does it go straight to penalties? It doesn't go extra time, does it? I think it goes extra time,
I
doesn't it?
I can't remember in the EFL.
I can't think.
No, I'm not going to look it up because that would just waste even more time.
I know that
John's
Papa
dying.
John's is straight to penalties, isn't it? I think this is extra time in penalties. I'm sure it is.
All right, well, readers, if you want to correct us,
Yeah.
you can, but
You
we
can't-
won't take
We
any
won't
notice.
listen. I'm not listening. If you can't be arsed to come on here and talk about a game,
You should know by now, after the best part of 12 years of these, that we do no research.
None.
We don't listen to anything you
None at
say.
all.
And even when you correct us,
We don't listen.
we deny that we ever said it or that you are still wrong. So,
I'm just shrugging my shoulders at the minute, as you can see. Like shrug. Not
yeah, we're already
interested.
shrugging. We're already shrugging to say, don't care.
Right, shrugging and struggling, because I am absolutely knackered tonight. As Tony knows, I had a COVID booster jab yesterday and it's knocked me sideways, so I'm struggling. I've come on here with a cheery, disposition, but I don't feel it, so I think I've done very well to get to 37 minutes, Tony. That's done
Yeah,
me this
yeah.
week.
So one of our shorter episodes.
Is this the only one we've never actually talked about football? We've come close before, haven't we?
Well, we did talk about the Cheltenham game in to say that we listened but didn't really
Didn't
listen.
remember it, yeah. What's that, yeah.
And I got chicken curry, and there was some tossing on the poop deck. So
I suppose we should quickly mention Louis' 900 games. That's an achievement and a half, isn't it? That?
yeah. So what would he have to do to get to? How much longer would he have to do to get to 1,000?
Well,
At least another 2 years of 50 games.
he's that. Well, we don't know. He says he's not got that in him, but he didn't show any signs of slowing up, does he?
No, he does. Well, he never. When you're that slow, anyway. I'm not sure he'd be going backwards if he got any slower, wouldn't he?
He's got
Surely.
faster as he's got older, which, conversely, most people slow down. He seems to be getting a bit quicker, and he does. Maybe that's why he's lasted so long, because he's, preserved his energy for when he gets older. I think I'll save up. I'll wait a minute. I'll wait a couple of years.
He's saved it all up over the last 20 years so
Before
he
I
can use
start
it in
running.
the twilight of his career.
That's an achievement, though, 900 games. I mean, it's astonishing, really.
It is. I think it's now the 8th. Is it the 8th or 7th highest league appearances of anyone? And it's a fantastic achievement. And will we ever see that again in
Has
the modern
anyone
era?
beaten him for playing for the same club? They must have done.
He's only ever played for one club.
What about that bloke that played for Southampton, whose name I can't remember, has gone a bit mental?
Matt Letizia.
That's him, mate.
Yeah, readers, if you frequent Twitter, don't look at Matt Letizier's Twitter.
Yeah, don't look at that.
You will regret it
You will.
immediately.
Well, you might
Trust
not
me.
regret it if you like.
Yeah, or if you like a conspiracy theory or 7,
I love a conspiracy theory.
be my guest. Be my guest.
Yeah, it's gone a bit mental. So, good luck to him, Tony.
Yeah, did we? Oh yeah, we did predict. Did I predict Morecambe? Oh, I'll go with you actually. Well, half yours. I'll go 2-1 to us. I'll give them a goal because I felt a little bit sorry for them when we played them.
Alright, I'm going now because I'm knackered. I'm going to go to bed. So this one's possibly not going to be out till very late Friday night, to be quite honest with you. So sorry about that.
Yeah. And if you don't download it and listen to it, which is ironic because you wouldn't hear what I'm just about to say, but you wouldn't probably regret it if you didn't bother downloading it. So, Adam Ant is trending on Twitter.
Yeah, it's his birthday today.
That's my evening sorted.
He's 76 years old.
Yeah. He is not 76.
No idea how he is. How old he is. I reckon he's 65.
Adam Ant, hold on, let me think. So 1981, which was 40 years ago, he was probably 25. So I'm going to say 65.
That's it.
He is 68, 3rd of
68,
November. It's his
really?
birthday today.
I did say that quite literally half a minute ago.
I know you did, but
It's what he's
I know I've seen
trending.
it in
I don't
print.
sound so
You
surprised.
can't trust anything you say. He's 68, and someone's described him as the most beautiful man in pop.
He was when he was young.
He was a very attractive young man back in the day, especially dressed up
Was a
in all
pirate.
that gear. Yeah, my first ever record. My first ever 45
Was it really?
was Prince Charming by Adam and the Ants.
Well, I'm pleased for you.
Yep, still got it. It's behind me.
Mine was Buzzcocks. I've still got it. I play it quite regularly.
No, I've moved my bookcase. But, yeah, it's over there.
Right, I'm definitely going now. So, this has been...
Yeah, well, I'm going to go and read about Adamant.
Adamant, eh? Get Kings of the World Frontier out, Tony, and blast that out for the next half an hour. Yeah, remember the old drums, Tony?
What an album. What an album that is, mate. I'm telling you now. If you haven't heard it, listeners, go and listen to your favourite streaming service. Listen to Kings of the World Frontier by Adam and the Ants. That's your homework.
That's your homework for next week. Don't write any match reports. Give us a review of Kings of the World Frontier.
Yeah, Kings of the World. Oh, what an album that is.
Right, on that bombshell, we're done.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'll see you next week because you've pissed us off by not sending any match reports, then, so we might just stop, Tony.
We might have to go to the games ourselves so we can report on them. I mean, it's not like we're doing a football podcast about MK Dons or anything.
We don't go to any games.
Yeah, I wonder how many other podcasts.
That's
there
a
are
unique
where
selling
the people
point,
who present
Tony.
it don't actually go to many of the games.
That's a unique selling point for us, isn't it? A podcast.
That's our USP.
We talk about games we've not actually watched.
Two log-serving MK Dons fans talk about matches that they haven't been to.
Yeah, great. Right, that does me right. See you. We'll be back next week. Don't listen to what we're saying. We will be.
Oh, we're so shit.